Hi, Christy Ryan here. As some of you may know, I'm doing the Beachbody's Ultimate Reset. Part of the reason I started to do this was, first of all, to know what it was like so I could recommend it, but also I like the idea of what it was talking about. I've never been a big promoter of cleanses where you just drink lemon water or cayenne pepper, but this reset is really more of getting your body back to where it belongs, getting rid of toxins, really focusing on healthy eating, adding lots of good whole organic foods, and getting us to work, our bodies to work like they're supposed to. So that got me interested. There's 3 different phases. 3 is 21 days divided into 3 different weeks. The first week is Reclaim. The focus of Reclaim is to wean out animal products from our diet and also processed and refined foods. That tends to create an acidic state in our system, and if you remember from chemistry, we need to be just a little bit over on the alkaline side. One reason I really cut back on Diet Coke, and I've never been a huge Diet Coke drinker, but maybe one a day, which is huge for some people. But I cut it back. I only have it on the weekends. But one reason I cut it back to the weekends was because the phosphoric acid, which causes the carbonation, creates an acidic state in us. And I knew that wasn't healthy. So any carbonated drink really will do that. Alcohol does that. A lot of refined foods, a lot of grains, a lot of protein will do that. And so the reclaim phase is to get us more into an alkaline state. So part of that is adding more vegetables, more fruits to our diet, cutting back on the animal proteins, and then we have supplements, an alkalizing agent and a mineralizing agent, as well as some oxygen. Another focus of week 1 is to rehydrate, to drink up to a gallon of water a day, really get our cells to function like they're supposed to and not be as sluggish. I liked that because I want more energy. Initially, the first day I had a terrible headache, and I know part of that was blood sugar. Part of that was I didn't have as much protein in my diet. I wasn't eating as often as I usually do. And also, I read later that the oxygenizing agent, which is pure oxygen, can cause headaches when we're first starting. So that's kind of part of the detox. After the second day, I started making sure I ate a little bit more portion-wise, and I felt fine. I have noticed that my head is draining, lots and lots of sinus drainage, and I think that's part of the detox too, which is really interesting to me. It could be, seasonal. It could be just the stuff in the air, but I noticed a marked difference when I started this, the week that I started this, than I had the week before. So it'll be interesting to see when I'm done what happens with my allergies. During the reset, strenuous exercise is not encouraged because all of our energy needs to go to resetting our internal organs. It's kind of like an internal workout. And I thought that would be really hard for me because I'm so used to having a good hour of hard exercise. But what I found is I would come home and it would take me an hour to fix my food for that evening and the next day. And then all of a sudden that time was gone. And I wasn't even getting the minimal exercise. They encouraged 20 minutes of walking and maybe some yoga. I wasn't even getting that. And after about 3 days, I noticed that I was really achy. My shoulders ached, my hips and legs ached. So not moving isn't a good thing either. But also some of that achiness is part of the detox, I found out, which is so interesting, that my shoulders would be so tight and cramped up just from detox. Since then, I'm such a schedule person, and so once I scheduled the workouts in, I'm fine. I do 20-minute walk in the morning, which is really easy to do. Once you get up just 20 minutes earlier, go for an easy, not power walk, just an easy walk, and then I do about 20 minutes of yoga before I go to bed. So once I have that in my system, no problems. Now, the food has been great. The supplements are a little hard to get used to because you have to take them at certain times of the day and before you eat and 2 hours after you eat. So it's a little hard to get that routine going, but once the routine's there, I'm good. What I haven't gotten used to is this alkalinizing agent. And that helps us be more alkaline, which we want to be, but it reminds me of when I was a kid in the alfalfa field tasting the alfalfa. I love the smell of alfalfa hay, but I don't like the taste of it. So I'm going to show you what this is like. I'm only doing this because it's good for me. This is wheatgrass and alfalfa grass powder. Not my favorite thing. but I'm doing it. And I put it in the least amount of water that I can because I want to get it down in just a couple drinks. So yeah, it looks like alfalfa, smells like alfalfa, tastes like grass. So that's not my favorite part. You can't mix it with anything because all of that needs to go through on an empty stomach. But I do feel good. I haven't weighed myself. A lot of people notice 3 or 4 pound weight loss in the first week. I haven't weighed. My weight doesn't change a lot, and I'm not really focused on that. I want to see how I feel. So this is day 5. I'm looking forward to a good veggie stir fry tonight, and we'll see what next week brings. Stay tuned.